Here are a few questions that we have, and feel free to answer them as you like. And okay, our first thing is that how do you rebuild yourself after the tragic murder of a loved one?
It's difficult. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my phone is ringing. It's not easy. In fact, it's very, very difficult. Especially when you lose somebody under such, sudden and tragic circumstances. It doesn't give you any time to really grieve. Because I think when somebody goes through some form of illness or something, your mind adjusts to the fact that you're about to lose somebody. When it happens very suddenly, it's difficult. But I think the main thing is, of course, your inner strength. Belief in God, and I think your family members and your friends who are around you and give you the strength to carry on and move on in life.
Could you share with us as to what were some of the loneliest periods during the trial for you?
I think initially after Jessica passed away, for me the worst days were Sundays.
Okay.
Because I used to work the rest of the week, and Sundays was one day we'd spend together. So I think they were the toughest for me at that point of time. But then, of course, as I said, the time carries on and you move on.
Yeah. And
there are times when one did feel a lot alone. But as I said, you have your family and friends who rally around you, so they make up for that.
Okay. I also meant lonely in terms of when you were dealing with the system, when you were. So, what were those times when you felt lonely?
I didn't feel lonely at that point in time. I just felt very frustrated because you were a part of a system and you didn't know what to do when you were up against those kind of odds, where you had the other side subverting the law in every which way they knew. Yeah. So it was very frustrating and it led to a lot of anger and irritation. Okay. But that said, you had to deal with it because one knew what was who we were up against. So it wasn't something that was not known to us. So we just had to deal with it day to day as it went.
Okay. So, but it wasn't really lonely for you in that sense.
Loneliness is not, I wouldn't describe the legal process as lonely, no.
Okay.
Because my father was with me and...
So what were those times when you felt lonely?
I didn't feel lonely at that point in time. I just felt very frustrated because you were a part of a system and you didn't know what to do when you were up against those kind of odds, where you had the other side subverting the law in every which way they knew. Yeah. So it was very frustrating and it led to a lot of anger and irritation. Okay. But that said, you had to deal with it because one knew what was who we were up against. So it wasn't something that was not known to us. So we just had to deal with it day to day as it went.
Are there times when you felt angry with the world for its insensitivity, its dishonesty or hypocrisy in people? Were there times like that?
Plenty, but I don't think I would go so far as to say the entire world. But I think I sort of concentrated on a few people that were like that, and I concentrated my energies on them.
Okay. What are the most important decisions that you made during the trial period? Any important decision that you recall? How it led you to that?
I think the only important decision that I made during that period of time was that I wouldn't rest till the boy was behind bars.
Okay.
So I think that was something that my family and me made up our minds long back, and I think that was the only thing that really kept us going, or kept me going especially, because for me that was the burning ambition, desire, whatever you can call it, that actually kept me going from day to day. Okay. Otherwise it's very easy for any... That was one thing that kept me going.
Okay. Initially you felt a lot of grief, and then your grief became the grief of the whole nation at some point of time. Did you feel that too? And when did you feel that happen? How did you feel that happen, if that...
Initially also my sister's case was, very, a lot written about a lot and everything, but that sort of died down after a while. But when it really hit me was after the acquittal in 2006.
Yeah.
Because that was completely overwhelming. That was something that nobody expected, and I think it's unprecedented in the history of our country where you have movements for somebody's acquittal like this. So I think that was when it really hit me that, oh my God, what's happening? And that time there was loads of support from every possible, there were NGOs, organizations, universities, campuses, media people.
Yeah.
So it was all of that. So that was, not expected at all, but very heartening and extremely overwhelming for a family member.
Okay. Of the nation also in the process, that people were...
The son, which could happen to anyone.
Yeah.
It wasn't just solely the Lal family. People started taking it personally as if it was going to be my daughter, my sister, my wife, my any friend. It could have been
Helps the nation to galvanize, to get together, and to start a quest for justice, which was
is concerned, every mother in the country,
exactly.
heart went out. Because I'm not even talking about the rest of the people, but especially the mothers.
Yeah.
To see a mother fighting like this for their son's death is very touching for any human being. So I think that's a special chord in all our hearts. And as I said, you know, when you see a family member, me, you question lots of things.
Okay.
Because see, all of us live our normal, regular lives, and nobody expects these kinds of
Offending. Do you have a message for offenders who they think they are beyond the law, and their families who think that they can buy anyone?
Well, I think the only message is that they are not above the law.
Okay.
And if people put their minds together, we can put them behind bars. So I don't think anybody should ever.
Exactly.
It was totally unacceptable in my house to lie. It was
Yeah.
totally unacceptable to get away, break the law and get away with it. It was totally unacceptable not to pay even 50 paisa of your tax.
Yeah.
So these are things we've grown up with, and these are the things we keep in mind. So I think every child is not born a criminal. I think they become.
What would be your comments on a victim-offender reconciliation programs? You know, they have been there in many countries across the world, where victims, offenders come face to face.
Heavens.
Yeah.
Okay. I think for something like that, a person has to be ready.
Of course, they
And
have to
I
be.
think also the offense should, I guess it depends on the offense as well.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, I am Christian, and the Christian philosophy is very into forgiveness and stuff. But I don't know whether I'll ever in my life be able to forgive Manu Sharma. And I really don't know whether I'll ever be able to sit across a table with him and have any sort of discourse or conversation. I don't know.
Okay.
At least not now.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know. It sounds okay to me for people who are willing to do it.
Yeah. In fact, you know, forgiveness is a area which belongs to religion, and you know, you are very right that you have to be ready in order to do that. And I mean, if say for example Manu Sharma were to ask you that I want to sit across you and ask for forgiveness, what would be your reaction?
No.
Okay.
Things might have been different,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
not now.
Okay. Why not now? I mean,
Because I am not ready.
death penalty, Sabrina. I mean,
After saying all that I've said, I'm totally against the death penalty.
yeah,
Because
sure. The two are separate. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that for me, I genuinely believe, and I still do believe, that if you're punishing, if somebody has committed a crime, then you need to punish that person.
Yeah.
The death penalty, you punish the entire family. And for what reason?
Mm.
Because the person who's committed the crime is gone. Death is in fact the easy way out, I feel.
Yeah.
And you're just, death and out.
Yeah.
And the rest of the family is left to suffer. So I feel, no, I feel life imprisonment is a thing.
Expecting truth and going for it courageously.
Person to person has to, things will change. You see, if we want to make a change, as somebody said, that you have to be the change. So the idea is that we all habitually are very good at sitting on armchairs and giving advice to people. But I think we all need to realize that if we can, we talk about other people's scams and other people's problems, and I think we have to start with our own homes and our own situations. If we are truthful and if we are open,
Yeah.
things will start changing at every level.
Okay.
So I think we have to be true to ourselves, and then everything will follow through around you.
Okay.
So of course, if something like this will happen.
Do you see a survivor movement coming up in the next 10 years' time? India having a survivor movement?
Well, doctor, you're trying for it.
No, don't. So, thank you, Sabrina.
Thank you.